Did you see SmackDown?
Yes, I did.
Joe, what was the number? It did good again, right? Because The Rock was on, I imagine.
They did. Here you go. 2.439.
Yeah, well. So they show The Rock showing up in a 1970s Ford pickup. They show Roman entering his locker room, and then they showed Cody and Seth walking past Nick Aldis. Anybody that's looking at this chart that we're doing this on video, and Brandon Thurston, the WrestleNomics, they had the quarter hour numbers for SmackDown, and this is very interesting. Okay, because I want to make a point of WWE versus AEW and what one company's doing right, what the other company's doing wrong. Okay, Konnan, every single week we look at the SmackDown number. There's never a drastic drop off in the number, like from a quarter hour one to the next. Right. There's always it's kind of a consistent linear line. The fans are engaged in the show. Okay, The Rock obviously draws massive numbers. Roman draws bigger numbers than usual, but the rest of the show, everybody's generally interested. They're not changing the channel. They're watching the show, right? With AEW, we see a lot of peaks and valleys on their show, and it just shows you is like because they have so many people and they don't put a lot of them in storylines, that when a lot of characters come on that aren't really over, nobody like people just don't care, and they change the channel. You know, do you notice that?
This is what I notice. First of all, SmackDown is a very well written, well booked, tightly produced, star power 2-hour show. Okay,
right. It's the third best show according to the Dave Meltzer readers. It's the third best wrestling show. I'm telling you. You want to watch a better show than SmackDown? Watch Dynamite and watch Collision.
Yeah, right. And I will watch Collision this week. That is a fallacy.
I watched Collision last week, by the way.
Yeah, I watched it last week and this week because that's usually where Pentagon is. Nothing. And so so for example, what I've noticed from AEW is, first of all, obviously WWE has a 40-year head start, and that does mean a lot. But I still can't believe to them it's preferable to have really good long matches, and they got a lot of great players now like Ospreay and Okada and Jay White and all these dream matches and all these great matches, but they'd rather have a long good match than a shorter match that has storylines, some video packages, some vignettes, and that's what I like,
right.
And that's what I've noticed, a big difference between the two.
Right. So the Nick Aldis comes to Cody Rhodes' locker room, is guarded by security, and there was nobody there. And the security guards were dumbfounded. It was kind of stupid.
Which one?
Kind of promo when Nick Aldis was looking in the locker room, and then the guys weren't there.
Right.
But security's outside the locker room.
Oh yeah, and they go, where'd they go? How'd they get out of here? Yeah, and I'm wondering, how did they get out of the way you saying without you guys seeing them?
Yeah.
How brutal was that?
He should have kind of put a scathing promo on these guys.
Right. How are there 10 guys guarding a door and they sneak out, or something?
But you should have made light of it because it's so absurd.
Right.
It's like
that was a big miss right there. Yeah. That was
right. Yeah. There's a couple of misses on this show so far, what do we get here? So next was the Bloodlines music comes on, and then The Rock makes his entrance separately. The two entrances took them 7 minutes of TV time. So Roman addressed the crowd, told them the greatness stood before them now, and then he offered up a hand, and he and The Rock dapped up, and he told the crowd to acknowledge us. Then before Cody Rhodes' music hit, he and Seth were showing the crowd approaching the ring. Rollins had tape over his mouth that he removed. So this was like 10 minutes worth of entrances. And then this segment started like 28 minutes before the end of the show. Seth and Cody got in the ring as the show returned. They went to commercial. Good deal. Nobody's changed it. Bro, look at Joe. Bring that WrestleNomics number up again for the quarter hours, and look at how that. Tell me from 9:30, 9:45, and 12 what the numbers were.
Well, it's up. You can see it there. 2.46 and then 2.83.
So how much? What was the percentage increase?
11% increase from 9:30 to 9:40. Yeah,
26%.
Yeah,
quarter more fans tuned in when this segment started at 9:30. So The Rock is a draw, right? So Cody said he was honored to be in the ring despite everything. He questioned whether The Rock could even make that stipulation. He acknowledged Roman as his tribal chief like week. Oh, because the Rock set up stipulations for the tag where if it they'd set the stipulations the week before. Then he questioned whether The Rock could even make that stipulation since he acknowledged Roman Reigns' tribal chief last week. And The Rock interrupted and told Cody to shut his up and told Rollins to shut up before he even started talking. And then began reiterating the stakes for the night one match until a diarrhea chant broke out. Rock let it play out, then finished explaining the rules. Then Rollins cut him off and told him to shut up. He called him a walking midlife crisis until he already had his time, and he sure as hell can't have theirs. He then told him he accepted the match, and then Roman spoke and asked Cody if he was really going to let Rollins, a cross-dresser, answer him. Let's do a sidebar in this. How upset were the woke, social justice warrior, Sissy Mary wrestling fans at that line?
Which one?
The called him a cross-dresser.
That's so stupid. I was watching some of the reaction. It's like, bro, everybody's insulting everybody. Okay.
Right.
The Crosslander was a good line because that's what he looks like, what he's doing, and the crossdresser embraced that line. It isn't a negative, but you're hurling insults. What are you supposed to say? Gosh darn,
But a bunch of grown men,
right,
are they want them to be politically correct in their insults before the fight. Is basically what the fans
right. Well, here's a thought off of Reddit. All right, maybe this will help you understand. Yeah, it says, if you're okay with Roman's cross-dresser comment, what if you had a son who's a huge Roman Reigns fan, let's say 8 to 10 years old, loves the tribal chief because he likes heels who are good at what they do. Your son also happens to really love cross-dressing, maybe even has drag aspirations. How do you think that promo would make him feel?
Well, if the kid has any sense, he knows it's a wrestling show and it's just an insult on a wrestling show.
Yes.
Or maybe the parent should explain to the kid, if you're going to dress like a girl, you're going to get insulted from kids at school.
Yeah.
That's good. That's going to happen. So, you should learn to deal. You should learn to fight. This is imperative. If your kid is like a non-binary or a cross-dresser or stuff, you should teach your kid how to fight because your kid may get insulted. And then, if you want to teach your kid to feel sorry for himself and cry and be suicidal, as opposed to if people pick on you, you need to stand up for yourself and punch them in the face. I can teach you how to fight. That would seem to me to be
that's
better.
Old school thinking in today's generation. Just like I told you yesterday when we were talking about Generation Z, which is like the 10-year-olds to like the 28 years old. Okay.
Right.
Which is like where Dominic's in. Right.
Right.
Like they were saying they weren't having as much before that they were using the phone. They were saying that they weren't that violent. They were getting the many fights. They weren't getting the many accidents, that they put a premium on life. So this generation, obviously I'm speaking in general, not everybody, not in general, not everybody. Does that make sense? Or am I so?
Perfect. That didn't
makes sense.
I'm
so but let me just say this. So they'd rather just ignore the person and not start any and just keep it moving. That, hey, what do you call me? That's like more how this generation thinks.
Right. So my question is, and this is a very serious question, is if that is the way this generation thinks, where are you going to get your cops and military people from out of this?
Well, because not everybody thinks like that. There's still tough guys out there.
No. But more do, which means you're going to have less enrollment in military and less enrollment in police going forward. If this is how you're teaching the generation to act, as opposed to teaching a generation of people stand up and protect yourself.
Well, we might just have a generation of cops and military guys that aren't as toxic as they were back in our day. So, everything balances out at the end of the day, I think. Did
you see that NYPD video they had? They had like a dance video. Like the NYPD had like all these girls, they were dressing and they were doing like a dance routine, like a NBA.
Oh, it was on some show. Yeah.
Right. Bro, all of the female police officers were all overweight.
Right.
And then you're looking at these are the cops.
Right.
You're looking at them and
the standards have definitely dropped. Yeah. You can even see with stewardesses. You're like, how do you get a job as a stewardess? You're like,
well, why do you think crime?
Please.
Why do you think crime is growing so much?
Is that a bad word, a stewardess now?
Sure. Absolutely.
Really?
Okay, how is that derogatory? Explain that to me.
Well, it denotes that she's a lady. It's feminine,
right?
And you're assuming that she identifies as a female. So you got to say flight.
Well, I am talking about females.
Well, then
I am talking about females.
She might look female, but she might identify as a male.
Right.
Or non-binary.
Yeah.
All right. So next is well,
let me just say this about this segment. First of all, I felt it felt very rushed. There were 4 guys with a lot to say. Okay.
Oh wait, no, I'm not done. I got to tell the add-on. Okay. He told him he accepted the match, and Roman spoke up and asked him, okay, The Rock chimed in to remind Seth and Cody that he's on the TKO board of directors that owns this company. He is, in fact, their boss. He would do everything in his power to make sure Cody never gets another shot at the title again until Seth would just make his title go away. That was an interesting line. He then brought up his family and said they were looking down the bloodline proudly and then turned his attention to Dusty and Cody. He said Cody's the youngest of 3. His brother's a soon-to-be Hall of Famer. His sister was a cheerleader for the Dallas Cowboys. I did not know that. Pull up Cody Rhodes' sister. She's a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. She's probably pretty attractive, I imagine. He said Cody is 20 years younger than the brother, and the reason why is that he was a mistake. Cody looked around for a second and slapped Rock across the face, and the Rock grinned. And they had 28 minutes for this, and they still ran out of time again.
Yep.
Unbelievable. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, maybe The Rock hasn't done this in so long, but you got to be able to feel your times here. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is, I mean, you need an extra 30 seconds a minute there. They went home too early, or they went home. They got to the spot too late. What did you think of this?
Yeah, like I said, I think this felt rushed, felt like 4 guys with a lot to say, and they didn't have the time to say it. They probably spent a lot of time on entrances and soaking into crowd chants, and that's made it long. I don't understand something, and tell me if you get this vibe. Disco, do you get the vibe that, for example, like they keep showing close-ups of like Roman Reigns' face, and he seems to still not be happy. Like they're still teasing tension between them when they really shouldn't. He already acknowledged him. Do you get that? Or
no. Yes, but I like it though because they're the 2 alpha males on the show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Roman's the top draw, the head of the table, but this other guy's coming in here and kind of taking his shine a little bit and treating him like the number 2.
Yeah,
right.
which they're playing, which
I can
know that.
Okay, yeah,
that should be part of the story, because Roman's an egomaniac, right?
Yeah.
So,
right.
That's one of the first things I noticed after that big press conference. Brouhaha, very, very white of me. Is that The Rock? It's like the Rock came up and started yelling and pointing at Triple H, and Roman was just in the background, and I'm like, yeah, he's looking like a number 2,
Right. Well, he is. Unfortunately, in the big picture, it's like if you're ranking the star power, everybody here, it's like Rock 1, Roman 2, Cody 3, Seth 4. I mean, nobody's really going to argue with those rankings, right?
So what I did like is that they've got a lot of good stuff happening. Lashley and the Street Profits against Karrion's Final Testament, the LWO versus Legado. You got the Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul for the U.S. thing. I think if they really did something with Tiffany, because she has no storyline, Bianca has no storyline, Naomi has no storyline, I think all 3 of them could be very interesting characters. If they could do some storylines on them, it would really be good. And, but yeah, I just think they have a good show all the way around. Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.